was a kid, we used to have, well, there were 13 cousins, and we did everything together, including get in trouble together and get group spankings, because one time we took a bath together and the ceiling almost came down because the water ran over, so you can imagine they weren't thrilled. But we'd give these shows in our basement, and I would say, I am gonna sing on big stages. I'm gonna be a celebrity. I'm gonna be the next Nancy Wilson, not Williams, Wilson. Some of you don't even know who Nancy Wilson is, which is sad because that means I'm really old. Okay. But my family was like, child, do you know where you live? Do you know how poor we are? Do you know that that's ridiculous? I'm like, yes, but I'm gonna be on TV. I'm gonna be in the movies. And that happened. 20 years later, I was opening act for Rich Little and Jay Leno. I was the first Lexi on Days of Our Lives. I was doing episodic television and movies, rocking it. I bought my first house. You couldn't tell me nothing. And then shift happened. I'm so happy to be here. I love your community. I love the energy. I love the power, the grace. I love being a witness to your expansion. Love your practitioners. Oh, and the ministers, you know, that's a whole sermon. I am so grateful to be invited here. I'm really clear that when you get invited to stand on someone's platform, it's a trust. It's a trust to be with family and community. Today I want to talk about revealing your purpose. And by that I mean, it is not something you get, it is something you are. Purpose lives within you. Our job is to wake up, to awaken to that energy, that truth, that essence that is vibrating as the eternal life that we have come here to be and to express. It is not something you go get. It is not about your big house. It is not about your money. It is not about your career, and it certainly is not about your soulmate. It's about revealing the truth of who you are. Your exquisite, powerful nature. You know, you are an original imprint. You are an original gift that came here to do only what you can do, the way only you can do it. This is important to me now because the time is now. We do not have one more second to play small, pretend we don't know, hide, think somebody's gonna save us. Somebody's gonna rescue us. We're the ones we've been waiting for. And by the way, you may have noticed that there's stuff going on the planet. Right? I mean, we're watching climate change. We're watching fires and storms and earthquakes and people being displaced. We're watching people that we know and love feel sad and polarized and separate. Not understanding that grace is in the field. Love is in the field. God is in the field. Is the field. So your purpose is really about you being absolutely committed and dedicated as a non-negotiable to stand in the power and the presence that you are. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have made a difference, that you have lived and lived well. If you are not living the life You know you are called to live. Why? What are you waiting for? I really feel that I am on purpose. And it took a little bit of a journey to get here. I'd love to tell you I leaped into enlightenment. But the people that know me will tell you, not really. The thing is that there are 3 things I've had to learn, and I want to talk to you about those. The first one is that vision precedes manifestation. You have to hide vision. I was the Vision Corps coordinator for CSL for a long time. And we visioned, and we had people all over the world that were on this Vision Corps. And the thing was, it's like to hold the vision beyond circumstances, beyond conditions, beyond anything that we're looking at that could be the antithesis of what we desire, what we know to be true. So the thing is it's like the vision is a powerful energetic. I married into a family of foodies, serious foodies. My husband's family think about food all the time, talk about food all the time, make food all the time, and when they've just finished, they're talking about the next meal. I live to eat, they eat to, no, it's the other way around. I eat to live, they live to eat. So, my nephew lives here in Dallas. When he was 9 years old was when I started dating his uncle, and we started connecting. And he was so cute, and he was one of those kids that stayed with that sweet nature even through his teens. Everybody kept waiting for the shoe to drop, and it didn't. And he said, I am going to open a restaurant. His name is Matthew, and he goes, and the name is going to be Mateos. And everybody was like, that's sweet. And they gave him like this nice little pat on the head. That's lovely. Keep dreaming, right? But I'm watching his eyes, and I'm like, oh, this dude is serious. This is something that he's going to create something. I don't know if it's a restaurant, but it's going to be powerful for whatever it is, right? So he goes to college. Out of college, he goes into the management training program for Houston's. And he comes out, and he's a general manager at Houston's, and he's in a couple of places, and he ends up in Dallas. And all the time, he's going, I'm going to open my restaurant. I'm going to open a restaurant. The name was a little iffy, but, he was going to open this restaurant. And at one point, after working for Houston's for a period of time, he decided to kind of step out, and he stepped out with a partner, and it did not go well. And he's married, and he's got 2 children, so he's responsible. And he said, well, I'm going to go back. So he goes back to Houston's, but the vision is still there, and he's still talking about it every chance he gets. He meets this person, and they're about to go in business. Now, let me tell you how good, because my nephew is not a religious scientist. I don't even think he knows what New Thought is. They love me in spite of my interesting way of being. And so, but he says, I don't know how, but I know something's happening. I know I'm to do this. I see the restaurant. I feel it. I know what the food is like. And I'm watching him, and I can feel his energy. And just as he's about to go do this thing with this other person, this man enters, who's a chef, who's a visionary, who is so clear about the kind of environment that he wants to create. And he asked for a meeting with my nephew, as my nephew's about to go off on this other thing. And he comes out of the meeting, and he calls his wife, and he goes, I think I got to do this. And she goes, what are you talking about? He goes, I don't know. I think I got to do this. So he pushes that other thing aside, and a year later, they open this restaurant here called Il Bracco. right? It's Italian, but it's, okay, I'm not a foodie, but I want to say this. It's like your mouth gets happy.
I'm so glad you joined us today. That makes you a part of CSL Dallas, and we love that our community continues to grow. And we also love to give great spiritual content. And a way that you can participate in our community is financially give to it. It's easy to do so. Go to CSLDallas.org and hit the give button. Or you can set up a text giving mechanism at 972-954-4404, a safe and secure way to send us money whenever you watch a great message like this. So thanks for giving, and buckle up, because here comes the spiritual content.
And as I sat in that restaurant and I looked around, I got emotional because he was unwavering in that vision. That's what I want you to know. You cannot allow any person, place, thing, event, circumstance to take you off of that vision. You don't have to know how to get there. It could look crazy in the moment, but that vision is energy that the universe will sync up because it's in a field of infinite possibilities. And if people tell you crazy, great. Because it means you're outside the box. It means you took that big leap. Your vision will pull you past the pain, past the confusion, past the doubts. You hold on to it. The second thing I want to tell you is as you're lifting and holding on to that vision, you have to enhance your frequency. Everything's energy and information. We are energy beings. You know, we're not just this body. There's a frequency that's vibrating around and through us in every single moment. I love that I had the opportunity to be with your practitioners for the 2.5 days. You know, they have a retreat once a year to go deeper into their spiritual practice, to be fed, to rejuvenate, to renew. And so this time I came and I said, I want to work on your frequency. I want to work on your energy and allowing it to go to its higher state of being so that you can be in stronger service to yourself and to this community. So we looked at this thing called above and below the line. You know, when you are feeling confused, uncomfortable, angry, disconnected, it's really a choice point. The choice becomes, will you move below that line and choose to connect to believe in, to focus and verbalize fear, doubt, anger, disconnect, or will you move above that choice line for enthusiasm and excitement and dedication and authenticity and trust? I don't care what's happening to you, God's got your back. Every moment, every second. Your thoughts and your ways of being and your frequency can slow you down, but it cannot stop you. You are going, even if it's kicking and screaming. Amit Ray says, it does not matter how long you are spending on the earth, how much money you have gathered, or how much attention you have received. It is the amount of positive vibration you have radiated in life that matters. There's research that says that's the strongest frequency, the strongest vibration that walks into a room can affect the entire room within 2 hours. Some of you have experienced those people. Some of you have worked for those people. Some of you have married those people that walk in and their mood and their frequency is below the line. and it starts to suck you in. And all of a sudden, you're feeling bad when you woke up great, when you woke up happy. You get to choose if you're going to be one of those people. You get to choose if you are going to be a high-frequency being. Years ago, I was teaching in this class. It was a Science of Mind class. And this woman stood up. She raised her hand, and she stood up, and she's tall and beautiful, and she said, I have this dream. I said, okay, what is it? She said, I want to open a spa. I was like, oh, that's nice. She said, but I don't know anything about spas, and I have no money. I said, and? She said, and it just won't leave me alone. So I'm taking it into my prayer work. I'm taking it into my journaling. Bless you. I'm taking it into work with my practitioner because there's something here, and it may not be a spa, but there's something that wants to be birthed through me. And I want to surrender to what that is. 2 years later, she came to me dismayed because her husband had pancreatic cancer, and he was leaving the planet, and she had a 7-year-old child. And she said, I'm having a hard time staying in a higher place, and I need to lean into your consciousness. I need to lean into you in this moment to help lift me up until I remember who I am. And so we worked, and we prayed, and when her husband passed, he left her a sizable amount of money. And she still kept saying, there's something calling me, there's something calling me, and I want to be in alignment with that energetic to manifest it. Out of nowhere, a spa designer shows up in her life. Out of nowhere, a building in the perfect place shows up in her life. Out of nowhere, she gets an invitation to go to this conference that had all this innovative spa stuff using sound vibrations, because she wanted her spa to be different. Well, that spa is now 2 years old. She's been in one of my women's programs, my entrepreneur programs. They've doubled their income from the first year to the second year. And everything about her staff, everything about the way in which she operates is about the environment and the vibration. Everybody on that staff knows, do not come in here with an energy that's below the line. Don't do that. Because we need you to lift up the clientele, to lift up the vibration. You know, I love that you've got altars all around this building, lifting the vibration above the line. If you're going through stuff, please do not take for granted that you have these amazing practitioners here. Let them pray with you. Let them stand with you. Let them walk with you. Let them remind you that even if you have to lean on their consciousness, until you get it together, they're here for you. Enhance your frequency. The last thing I want to tell you is that, purpose is evolutionary. If spirit is evolutionary and we are manifestations of the divine, we are evolutionary. So when I was a kid, we used to there were 13 cousins, and we did everything together, including get in trouble together and get group spankings, because one time we took a bath together and the ceiling almost came down because the water ran over, so you can imagine they weren't thrilled. But we'd give these shows in our basement, and I would say, I am going to sing on big stages. I'm going to be a celebrity. I'm going to be the next Nancy Wilson. Not Williams, Wilson. Some of you don't even know who Nancy Wilson is, which is sad because that means I'm really old. Okay. But my family was like, child, do you know where you live? Do you know how poor we are? Do you know that that's ridiculous? I'm like, yes, but I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be in the movies. And that happened. 20 years later, I was opening act for Rich Little and Jay Leno. I was the first Lexi on Days of Our Lives. I was doing episodic television and movies, rocking it. I bought my first house. You couldn't tell me nothing. And then shift happened. All of a sudden, I couldn't book a job. All of a sudden, they stopped hiring me as the opening act. And I'm like, really, God? Really? I'm a practitioner. How could this happen? I'm on purpose. I'm fulfilling my destiny. The universe was quiet. I said, wow. So I had children. I had to take care of them. And I was like, so I went to the University of Santa Monica. I got a degree in spiritual psychology, and that, along with my practitioner work, things were moving. But it was like I was perplexed because I was so clear as a kid of who I was going to be and what I was going to do. I was so clear. So then I got a job in corporate America, in corporate communications. And they trained me in stuff I didn't want to know. And I was miserable. And I kept praying and saying, what, please, tell me what it is I need to do, and I'll do it so we can stop this part. All of a sudden, I graduate. Well, I'm in my last year of ministerial training. And, that's a whole nother story. I just want to say, anybody who has a calling and you're resisting, it will get you anyway. So I'm in my last year of ministerial training. And I all of a sudden, music had started to come through me that was more spiritually oriented. And I'm writing and I'm creating CDs that, nobody bought because I didn't go anywhere. But I'm creating them. And all of a sudden, there's a phone call. And this man says, hello, my name is Kent Rautenstrauss, and I am the musical director for Mile High Church. And we would like you to come and sing. I'm like, really? I've been trying to get on your stage for 2 years. So I go. And it was an incredible experience. And I come back, and Ricky Byers was giving a conference. And I'm sitting down, and I start to meditate, and she's taking us through this meditation, and I hear, you can go for a little while. Go where? And I open my eyes, and sitting next to me is Kent Rautenstrauss, who says, would you like to come to Mile High and be an artist in residence for a month? Now, I had a full-time job, y'all. And I said, you have an artist in residence? He goes, no. But I've been told that that's what you're supposed to do. And then I have to tell Roger, who was the senior minister, right? So I say to God, if you pay me what I'm paying, if you pay me my monthly salary, I'll go, and then you'll figure out the rest. That's exactly what they offered me. So I go back to Denver to be an artist in residence. I do not have a job when I come back. But what happens is my practitioner work exploded. So all the way through ministerial school, my practitioner work was paying for everything. Roger Teal asked me to come and be an associate minister there. When I got there, every skill, my singing, my acting, my speaking, my corporate communications, all of those things coalesced into that moment as I oversaw the women's ministry and the GLBTQ, the music ministry, the women's, it was incredible. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh, purpose evolved. And I loved it for 11 years. And then shift happened. I'm in discontent for no reason. Nobody's beating me up. Nobody's telling me I'm terrible. You know, I'm not harassed. But the universe is going, you're done here, you're done here, you're done here. I'm like, no. I have done what you said, and I have evolved. And I'm a minister, and I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't want to leave. It's like, that's nice. So it sat me down with an adrenal issue. And I had to take a sabbatical for 3 months because it was serious. And in that 3 months, I realized, even though I've been meditating for 40 years, I didn't know how to be still. I didn't know how to just move into that place within me where I could trust the divine. And I had to look at that all of my needs and all the way in which I defined myself was outside validation. Who was I if I was true to my God self? And so that began this thing where my meditation said, get an office. And I'm like, get an office for what? I got no clients. Get an office. 2 practitioners were looking for a 3rd person to open an office. I opened that office, and Joel Goldsmith had an office and would pray and meditate, and he had no furniture. And before he left the planet, he was seeing a ton of people a day. I said, well, if Joel can do it, I can do that. I come sit in my office and meditate, but it's got to look pretty. And so that's what I did. And today, I still have not advertised for my coaching business. I have not advertised for my speaking business. I have not advertised for the people who are in my programs. I just said yes to God. I said yes to my purpose. Whatever is calling you, if you are in the middle of a shift, trust it, honor it, surrender to it. You might have an ally that knows better than you. You might have a universe that's saying, you're done here. Let me open the next doorway for you. Let me open the next portal for you. You are blessed. You have always been blessed, and you will always be blessed. You would not be here if you were not necessary. And in fact, if you were not here in this moment, there would be a hole. People are waiting for you. The universe is waiting for you to wake up and tap into your passion and your power. This afternoon in the workshop, we're going to talk about the steps of revealing your purpose. How many of you know there's something more that's calling you? Exactly. Really? Only a third of you? Okay, I'll pray for the rest of you. Okay. So, can I have my keyboard person come up, please? Michelle Obama said, for me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously towards a better self. The journey does not end. I want you to just uncross your legs, uncross your arms, and sit in your seat. And breathe in the beautiful energy and the power and the light of the infinite. Let it fill your body. and take this moment to stand in the awareness that the infinite presence of the living God is the only life. It is the beginning, it is the middle, it is the ever-evolving energetic that is breathing us, living us, guiding us, touching us, supporting us. I know that energy is my life, and I know it's the life of everyone here and everyone listening to this word, and even the entire planet that doesn't even know what we're doing in this moment. And so what we can stand in the awareness is that we open to the revelations and the insights and the power and the presence that's guiding us to a new level of understanding of our extraordinary essence, of that place within us that wants to emerge, wants to expand, wants to be revealed in extraordinary ways. We just give thanks in this moment for this community, that we have a place to come to be together with like-minded people that are saying, yes, you are important, yes, you matter, yes, you are here for a divine unfolding. Join us, walk with us as we create new experiences, as CSLDallas continues to explode into its greater get-to-be. I know that the health and the well-being of all people right here and now is strong and clear beyond appearances. We stand in the awareness that there is something powerful and profound that is moving. We bless this planet, we bless the leadership, we bless the people on this planet, reminding them in this moment that we are a collective consciousness sending out love in extraordinary ways. We give thanks for the opportunity where two or more are gathered, there's great power, and to open and trust and surrender. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. So we breathe in the truth that we're blessed, that we have always been blessed. And we surrender any old ways of being, any below the line feelings, doubts, fears, concerns, discomfort. And we call in trust, we call in enthusiasm, we call in health, we call in freedom, we call in light. And we dare to claim and proclaim right in this moment, nothing opposes God, therefore nothing opposes me. And we stand in that truth. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say and say